Boom, and welcome to another video of the Flowing Dutchman. Now in this video I'm going to talk about Indian clubs for beginners. Now you try to get your club up and you start to rotate from side to side. Okay, from there you're going to drop it again. Again, come up to the side and bring it down. Try to slow the clubs down when you go up. This is a very fascinating topic with every swinging tool, and that's when I mean heavy clubs, heavy club, light clubs, mace flow, gada. You need to be aware of where you need to start because there's a vast array of possibilities. There are endless amounts of variations of different flows and movements that you can do and combine and connect in different ways that will make your journey very complicated without a proper starting position. So this video is kind of an introduction to what you should do starting out, but of course I would always recommend a trainer or a proper course to really hone down your basics and to understand it, because once you really find the underlying roots, you'll realize that everything comes out of this big stem in the center, right? So I've called that the Dutch flow method, but there's a way that we can define, you know, the single most important movements of a practice, and from there on, basically everything that you add to it, all the creativity, all the combinations, all the flows, they all lead back to that center point, which means that with the same knowledge, you can both be very complicated in your movements, so complex, and you can do a simple thing as well, and it will all come back to the same foundations. So starting, you need a pair of light clubs, which is of course very important. I would always recommend to get wood. I've made a video before on whether you should go for steel and wood. The simple answer is wood has the right weight distribution and you shouldn't start too heavy, okay? The weight for Indian clubs or light clubs, as the word says, should be light. So the starting weight is going to be between 0.6 kilo and 1 kilo. Okay? That's usually a good starting point. I'd say a 1 kilogram should be enough for most men. It's a weight, especially once you get practice down. These ones weigh 2 kilo each. I know I'm pretty big, I've got a big head, so they don't look as big, but they are actually pretty big and beautiful. So this is something that I've worked for many years up towards, because you'll realize, you know, a lot of movements require this wrist extension, flexion, fingers that move, coordination that moves along, and then when you connect it with two together, you'll start to realize that it's actually pretty difficult to proper technique and the strength from, you know, relatively weak muscles. So it's a beautiful practice if done correctly and with skill. So for that you need a light pair of clubs. There's ways to get cheaper. There's ways to get, for example, a wooden rod into a tennis ball, or there's companies that sell these plastic handles that you can put on water bottles. Whatever way you find, make sure that it's maximum of 1 kilo per club. So 2 kilogram pair in total. Okay, that's where you should start. Now I'm going to talk about you know, the main thing that you need to know, and the starting exercise that everybody needs to start with, because usually people start with hard swings and that is a bit too complicated, I'd say, for most people to start with, but I know that everybody wants to learn it, but you know, there's ways to get to that point. So let's start with the basic circle, and this is called a front circle usually, and it basically means that we're gonna rotate the club all the way in front in one line. So you can try to do that with one arm first. Just make simple rotations where basically you'll start to realize that you're shifting direction, okay? So here I'm pointing towards my right, and after that I'm pointing towards my left. So that should be an important distinction, that you know that you're either aiming towards that side or you're aiming towards the exact opposite side. So there's no in-between side here. And why? Because Indian clubs and light clubs have a military foundation. Clubs have the background of being a way to strengthen for martial arts. So having that ability to then aim and catch your opponent, right, from a swing and make the impact is massive. And same goes for if you want to, use it for wood chopping or whatever it is. You need to have a direct aim, and it shouldn't be just aimless in a sense. So understanding that you're rotating from side to side is very important. Second thing, now you try to get your club up and you start to rotate from side to side. Okay, just fairly simple, and you're basically relying upon its own weight, right? It's moving in line with your feet, that's very important. And you're aiming the club either towards the left or fully to the right. And this means there's external rotation and internal rotation. And you should kind of be aware of that and also almost overemphasize it, because if you start to go up with an internally rotated shoulder, you start to realize that that's actually not that comfortable both ways, right? So you want to open up as you come up and draw it down as you come in. There we go. So that's kind of the start. And now you should try that with both. Okay, so we're beginning very, very simple. Just like that. Opening up, closing down. Opening up, closing down. Making sure that the club stays in line with the arm, reaching up, aiming to the side. Just get a relaxed grip. Make sure the palm of the hand is still kind of touching the knob. Around the knob here, you go from side to side. Now we can do that with both arms, which kind of limit your reach. You can try to do right over left, left over right. It's not that necessary, but just to get comfortable with it and make sure that you do the same technique when you swing with two at the same time, because that's actually not that easy, right? There we go, we're doing a great job swinging from side to side. Woo. Yeah. And maybe you can start to open up a little bit more. So open up your armpits, let them go up a little bit more. So you have to use your deltoids here to actually lift up the club. I'm almost going out of the screen. So that's good. So we're lifting up higher, okay? This is where we're going towards. We're going towards our Y grip or Y position. All right, this is the point where we're going to hold. This is very important. You want to elevate your rib cage. You want to make sure you have a straight back, but you also want to make sure that you're not protracting here too much, going forward, and also not lifting upward too much. So you want to keep that position very, very good. Okay, from there you're going to drop it again. Again, come up to the side and bring it down. Up, bring it down. Up and bring it down. Up and bring it down. So you're getting more comfortable with holding, and you should feel now that your shoulders are starting to work. So this is also what you should feel during the practice, right? This is where it actually is working. It's working on the shoulder. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to actually practice your shoulder, because now we're accessing at least part of its full range of motion instead of just doing it statically. Going all the way up. From here, we're going to complete the circle, because club swinging is nothing without a complete circle. So we go all the way up to Y. We cross in front. From here, we let the clubs go. Now they will go slightly in a line forward, because it's literally impossible to not have them cross. So you go over, and from there you reach down. But you want to have them in line with your feet as soon as possible afterwards. So you go over, you drop, and you come up again. So just try to slow the clubs down when you go up, reach down and let them drop so they actually come up from its own momentum. And that is really important, to feel that they can come up, because that's the only way to make sure that you can do this for 20 minutes onwards. You don't want to have too much pressure. You want to make sure that you're using the arms and the clubs as a way of an extension of the arms, right? Because this would be heavy without clubs, just with your arms. So I've reversed. It's the same thing. We start from Y, drop down, and you come all the way back to Y. In that sense, you keep control and you have your position straight. Keep your hands out and keep positioning them correctly. Now try this towards both sides. You can alternate to which hand is in front, but again, this is not completely necessary, but it could be a fun, challenging thing for your brain and your motor control. And in that sense, we have completed the front circle. So start with that exercise. I would recommend doing that for quite a while. I can feel my shoulders burning. So this is a great way to start utilizing full capacity of the shoulders and of your clubs without doing anything which could be, relatively unsafe or too difficult. This is relatively easy and it's already a lot more fun than a traditional lift because there's already the circle and the momentum. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this basic introduction for Indian clubs or light clubs for beginners. And if you want to know more, there is a lot more. We have on DutchFlowAcademy.com Light Clubs 101, which will go over this movement, but then also adds the foundations to it. And we'll go to the heart shape, which is of course the movement you all want to learn. It will end in a great flow. And from then on, we have Light Club 6, level 1, which is a 6-week or 6-stage course. And that will take you from that 101 in 6 stages to quite complicated stuff. Asynchronous, learning how to do left differently from right, learning how to use wrist circles, all kinds of complex stuff without doing too many new circles and movements. So it's really based on foundational stuff, but then getting quite complex and really setting the foundation for a more advanced practice. And then in level 2, we're gonna really spice it up. We'll add legs to it, we're gonna add pivots to it, different directions, new circles, new transitions. And that's basically when you're gonna utilize the foundations that you've honed down and practiced a lot and now make the practice more elaborate and more beautiful. So this is kind of the path that we have right now. Level 3 will be there on its way at some point too. And it's a beautiful practice. I hope to see you there at DutchFlowAcademy.com or maybe even a live event. Who knows? I hope you enjoyed this video and click like and subscribe if you like content of this video so I can maybe make more of these. Beautiful. Are you always dazzled by the seeming complexity of light club swinging? Light Clubs 101 will bring an end to that. Light clubs or Indian clubs are an extremely effective way to strengthen and restore your arms and shoulders. However, this art can become incredibly complex. To create safety, skill, and structure, it's therefore necessary to have a proper foundation. Light Clubs 101 is designed to do exactly that. You will learn how to distinguish between crossing and parallel swinging directions and how to transition between them. I believe this course is capable to make anyone understand and master the absolute foundations of light clubs. What are you waiting for? Join now on DutchFlowAcademy.com. Thank you for your attention, it's greatly appreciated. If you like the content, please consider to share, like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see similar videos, you can see them over here. If you're interested in learning more from me as a coach, I've got online courses on DutchFlowAcademy.com. Keep flowing, Ram Ram.